Welcome to the Heart's Compass, a journey through the landscapes of human emotion. When we are with others, our emotions become relational, shaped by presence, perception, and shared experience. This cluster explores the feelings that arise in interpersonal space, the warmth of compassion, the ache of pity, the resonance of empathy, and the boundaries that protect our integrity. Here, emotion is not just felt, it's exchanged. These experiences reveal how we respond to others' pain, how we navigate closeness, and how we honor both connection and self-respect. Compassion, the open-hearted response to suffering, rooted in care and the desire to help. Pity, the distancing sorrow that sees suffering from above, often without shared vulnerability. Empathy, the felt sense of another's experience, bridging the gap between self and other. Sympathy, the acknowledgement of pain, offered with kindness but without full emotional immersion. Boundaries, the emotional lines that protect connection by honoring limits and preserving self-trust. Comparative suffering, the tension of measuring pain where empathy can be distorted by judgment or hierarchy. These emotions live in the space between us, not just felt, but exchanged. They reveal how we respond to others' pain, how we navigate closeness, and how we honor both connection and self-respect. In this cluster, we explore the delicate balance between openness and protection, immersion and observation, care and clarity. Compassion is the soft gaze that sees suffering and chooses to stay. It is the warmth that rises when we witness pain and feel moved to respond with care. Compassion does not fix or rescue, it accompanies, honors, and holds. Compassion is the emotional response of recognizing another's distress and feeling motivated to ease it. It blends empathy with action, offering presence, kindness, and support without judgment or control. Compassion is the hand extended without demand, the quiet presence beside grief, the breath that steadies another's storm. It is the willingness to feel with, not for, to sit in discomfort without rushing to escape or explain. Compassion listens without interruption, sees without distortion, and loves without condition. It is the bridge between hearts, built not on solutions but on sincerity. Compassion asks us to remain open even when pain is visible, to offer dignity in moments of despair, and to trust that presence itself can be healing. It is not weakness, but strength, the kind that chooses tenderness over avoidance and connection over control. When we are with others, compassion becomes more than care. It is the practice of showing up again and again with gentleness, courage, and the unwavering belief that no one should suffer alone. Pity is the downward glance that sees suffering from a distance. It is the sorrow that acknowledges pain, but without stepping close enough to share it. Pity feels like care, yet often carries separation, a reminder of difference rather than connection. Pity is the emotional response of recognizing another's hardship while perceiving them as lesser or powerless. It is sympathy without equality, a gesture that can soothe but also isolate. Pity is the sigh that hovers at the edge of empathy, the hand extended but not fully grasping. It is the tilt of the head, the softened voice, the subtle distance that says, "I feel for you, but I do not feel with you." Pity can comfort, but it can also wound, reminding the one who suffers of their vulnerability and the imbalance of being looked down upon. It is the shadow side of compassion, where care is offered without true presence. And yet pity also reveals our instinct to respond to suffering. even if imperfectly. It teaches us that genuine connection requires humility, the willingness to stand beside rather than above. When we are with others, pity reminds us that care without closeness can become a barrier. It calls us to move beyond distance, to transform pity into compassion, and to meet suffering with dignity and shared humanity. Empathy is the bridge that allows us to step into another's world. It is the resonance of feeling that dissolves distance, reminding us that their pain or joy is not separate from our own. Empathy is the heartbeat of shared humanity. Empathy is the emotional capacity to sense and understand another's experience as if it were our own. It goes beyond recognition. It is immersion, a felt connection that deepens understanding and nurtures care. Empathy is the quiet listening that hears beneath words, the gaze that softens when another's truth is revealed. It is the tear that rises unbidden, the smile that echoes someone else's joy, the silence that honors grief. Empathy is not pity, nor sympathy alone. It is presence that joins, not separates. It is the courage to feel with another, even when the emotions are heavy, even when the risk of being changed is real. Empathy teaches us that our hearts are porous, that connection is not a concept, but a lived experience. It is the thread that weaves compassion, trust, and belonging into the fabric of community. When we are with others, empathy becomes the doorway to deeper connection. It is the practice of feeling alongside, of carrying a piece of another's story, and of discovering that shared emotion is what makes us fully human. Sympathy is the gentle nod that acknowledges another's pain. It is the recognition of suffering, offered with kindness, even when we cannot fully feel what they feel. Sympathy is the gesture that says, "I see your hurt and I care." Sympathy is the emotional response of concern for another's hardship, expressed through words, gestures, or presence. It is awareness without full immersion, a way of standing near suffering while keeping one's own emotional ground. Sympathy is the card sent in silence, the hand resting lightly on another's shoulder, the words spoken softly to ease the weight of grief. It is the comfort of being noticed, the reassurance that pain is not invisible. Sympathy does not dissolve boundaries. It honors them, offering care without claiming to share the same experience. It is the kindness that steadies, the small act that reminds us we are not alone. And yet, sympathy can sometimes feel incomplete, a surface touch where deeper resonance is longed for. Still, it teaches us that even simple acknowledgement can carry healing power, and that presence matters even when words fall short. When we are with others, sympathy becomes a bridge of kindness. It reminds us that even if we cannot fully enter another's experience, we can still stand beside them with care. Boundaries are the lines we draw to protect connection without losing ourselves. They are the quiet strength that says, "This is where I end and you begin." Boundaries are not walls, but pathways that allow relationships to remain healthy and whole. Boundaries are the emotional and relational limits we set to preserve respect, safety, and self-trust. They define how we engage with others, ensuring that care does not become control and closeness does not erase individuality. Boundaries are the fence that marks sacred ground, the pause before saying yes, the courage to say no. They are the clarity that steadies us when emotions surge, the anchor that keeps us from being swept away by another's tide. Boundaries are not rejection, they are protection, a way of honoring both self and other. They remind us that love without limits can become harm, and that respect requires definition. Boundaries teach us that connection thrives when honesty is present, when limits are spoken, and when both sides feel safe to remain themselves. They are the invisible agreements that allow intimacy to flourish without fear. When we are with others, boundaries become the framework of trust. They invite us to connect with clarity, to honor difference, and to build relationships where both care and respect can endure. Comparative suffering is the measuring of pain against pain. It is the instinct to rank hardship, to decide whose struggle counts more, and whose should be set aside. In the presence of others, it can silence empathy and distort connection. Comparative suffering is the emotional response of minimizing or inflating pain by comparison. It often shows up as, "Others have it worse," or "My suffering is greater," creating distance instead of understanding. Comparative suffering is the scale we hold in our minds, weighing grief against grief, joy against joy. It is the voice that says, "Your pain does not matter because mine is heavier," or "I should not feel this because someone else suffers more." It can diminish compassion, leaving us isolated in judgment rather than joined in care. And yet, comparative suffering also reveals our longing for fairness, our desire to make sense of pain. It teaches us that suffering is not a competition, but a shared human reality. When we release the scale, we open space for empathy, for each story to be honored without hierarchy. When we are with others, comparative suffering reminds us that pain cannot be measured into worth. It calls us to listen without ranking, to honor each experience, and to let compassion replace comparison. When we are with others, our emotions become threads in the fabric of connection. Compassion, pity, empathy, and sympathy remind us of the many ways we respond to another's pain. Boundaries teach us how to honor both self and relationship, while comparative suffering shows us the pitfalls of measuring what cannot be measured. Together, these emotions reveal that being with others is both gift and challenge, a dance of closeness and distance, of care and protection. They remind us that our humanity is not lived in isolation, but in the spaces we share. As this cluster closes, may we carry forward the courage to meet others with dignity, to listen without judgment, and to honor both their story and our own. For it is in the presence of others that our emotions find resonance and our hearts discover the meaning of belonging.